Hi everybody, Shelly here. I picked up the Morphe Khaki Calling palette. If you are new to this channel, hi. I don't always know what I'm talking about. Well, because I'm not a makeup artist. This is a Morphe palette. It is a 9-pan palette, and it is a largely green, camouflagey vibes, and I am here for this palette. You've got kind of a deeper forest green, you've got a lighter color green, you've got a green shimmer, you've got some bronzy colors in here, and you've got a couple like cool tone browns. You've got like kind of a darker taupe, and you've got like a taupe shimmer that's not really a black, it's more like a super deep brown. It has shade names, but fine print means ladies of a certain age might have a hard time reading it. Sorry. If you are new here, hi. You might have found this because of a review link on Morphe's website. I'm not sponsored, I'm not affiliated, I'm not endorsed. I get nothing in PR, nothing like that. I'm just a lady of a certain age that wants to know, can we, non-makeup artists, get several looks out of a single palette, and does that make it a good value? So today I'm looking at how do the colors work, 1. 2, do we have blendability? And number 3, I kind of want to know if I can get multiple looks. Yeah, I'm totally feeling inspired. I'm going to do 3 looks of this palette. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I'm going to. So I'm going to do something that's a little bit more work appropriate, Zoom meetings maybe, or just like fast and easy. I'm going to do something a little bit more playful, maybe drinks with girlfriends, farmer's market, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to vamp it up and do a little bit more date night. Something a little bit more edgy. Can we do edgy? Ladies of a certain age, we can do whatever we want. Okay, I'm going to take this shade right here. It looks pretty washed out in the camera, as do I most of the time, but it is kind of a warmer, I'm gonna call it flesh tone, but I think that really depends on what your skin tone is to begin with. I didn't put any eyeshadow primer on today. However, I do have the Morphe Fluidity foundation, as well as a Morphe Debutante bronzer, a Sweet Tea lip liner, and a blush highlighter duo that I got in the Super Slay kit. I don't know the name of the eyeshadow or the blush palette because I don't see a sticker on it that tells me the name. First things first, I can tell you that there's a little bit of kick up, and that doesn't bother me at all because I tend to go back into the kick up so as not to waste too much, and it also kind of helps to sort of clean up the area around the palette. Changing brushes, actually changed to a Sigma brush instead. Sorry Morphe, I have other Morphe brushes that just happen to be the one I grabbed. But this brush seems to make the shadow not feel quite so dry. At first I was feeling like, okay, is this going to be like chalky? Is it going to be patchy? I do have, you know, mature eyelids, so we've got a little bit of crepiness. I think all said and done, it's actually just fine. Okay, I'm going to, because this is a work look, I'm going to take this kind of mid-tone warmer brown, and that's going to be my outside. A little bit more definition. Again, I'm trying to keep this low key because for work, we don't need to look like we're trying too hard. Not have makeup be a distraction at work. Unless you work in like a super creative environment, by all means, knock yourself out. You know what's appropriate at your work, right? Those 2 shades gave me exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna go in with this taupe shimmer right in the middle as my all-over removable lid. And it's maybe a little more coppery than I would probably choose for work, but I actually think it's actually really pretty. So despite having all of these greens in here and having all these greens at the ready, man, that's easy. That's easy to get like a warm, soft work look without much effort. Man, these little 9-pan palettes, they just give you a ton of versatility, don't they? I'm gonna take that same darker color and just kind of go a little bit under my lash line. I don't usually do like a ton of eyeliner when it comes to daytime like work looks, but I do need a little definition. So I'm gonna put on some mascara. I'll be right back. Work look done. I can tell you guys, this is a great work palette. If you bought or were interested in or disappointed by the Huda Beauty Khaki Haze palette, Khaki Calling. It's like Huda put out a palette and then they're like, hey, we're the real Khaki's calling now. This gives it to me. Oh my gosh, you guys. I didn't use any of the greens. Like you look at this and you see greens, and I love that. For a fall palette, fantastic. This gave me a warm, subtle, soft, neutral eye that I could wear to work, and I would absolutely wear this to work. I'm going to, let's doctor this up a little bit. I want to do something fun. I want to take this look, drinks with the girls after work. I'm gonna grab a flat brush here, and we're gonna go into, I almost wish I would have used this on my last look. I completely forgot about it. There's too many choices in here. It's 9. Like there's not too many choices, but it's easy to see a bunch of different looks. Okay, I'm gonna take this green right here over the top of everything I've got on. And again, a lot of kick up, but I'm taking it right over the top of that copper and everything else. It's gonna mute that shimmer, might even make it a little muddy, and I am okay with that. If I were going from right after work to hanging out with the girls, I might do something just like this. So much kick up, you guys. It almost feels like the kick up can make it a little chalky. I'm seeing a slight patchiness, but you guys got to keep in mind, I'm putting this on over other shadows with no eyelid primer. Now that I have that all over my lid, I'm going to take the lighter shade of green and we're going to go right over the center as kind of a halo look. Oh, that's pretty. I like that a lot. That just took it to an absolute look that I would wear. I just took a darker shade, I didn't mean to. We're gonna fix this here. I don't know. We're taking this kind of darker, kind of cool toned, taupey shade, and we're just using it to further define that eye, bring out that shape a little bit more. You can still see that kind of warmer color that I started with over the top. It's kind of blended into as a transition shade, and I am perfectly fine with that. Even if I go switch to a cooler toned look, man, this shade really does build up. But I would do eyeshadow like that for lunch with girls, or if we're going out with girls. This is giving me all kinds of like leather jacket and Doc Martens kind of look. Not that I would wear Doc Martens. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I wouldn't be wearing Doc Martens. There are kids wearing Doc Martens these days. Everything old comes new again, huh? Let's use this green in here as eyeliner. If we're not playing now, when are we playing, right? Whereas the first look, I really didn't do anything liner-ish because it was a work look. Now, a little bolder, a little bit more fun, running errands or vacuuming if you're not going anywhere. All right, you guys, those colors do work very well as a liner. Just a small little flat kind of angled brush to kind of stipple on that shade. I didn't need to go in and wet it. I didn't need to do anything else. In fact, I'm going to clean off that brush a little, and I'm going to take that lightest green shimmer that we used just on the center of the lid, and I'm going to put that right in here. Fun. And I'm actually going to drag it down under here too. Might as well just lighten up the whole eye, tie it all in together. I think this works equally well for going out with friends and possibly going right to cocktail hour. Probably would darken up my mascara a little bit, but because I want to do a third look, I want to do something completely different. I like this palette. I like this palette a lot. I'm gonna take off this eyeshadow. I'll be right back. I have my eyes cleaned off. I did use a little of the Morphe eyelid primer this time because I felt like that last transition from the first to the second look, while I loved the colors, I think this green here is very pastel-y, and it almost got a little chalky, a little patchy when I put it on over the top of the shimmer. We're doing things the right way, and we're starting with a clean-ish eye with some eyeshadow primer, just like you would do. I've used 7 of the 9 shades in here already. Like more can you do, but I'm gonna do it. I am gonna use this shade as my transition shade because I think it is the transition shade that they give you. I guess the green could be that kind of pastel-y green. This one has a little bit of like almost like a yellowish kind of undertone to it. I think earlier I said maybe sand, and I'm sticking by that. Right now I'm feeling like I need to do some sort of like eyelid mask because my eyelids are looking a little creepy and tired. Filmed several eye looks today, so it could be just abuse, and I can just see just the slightest bit of patchiness with that transition shade in both kind of outside. And now I could sit here for a while and blend and blend and blend without putting on any new product and eventually get it to blend in, but I gotta be honest, I don't want to spend that much time on this, you know? Like, who wants to spend a lot of time blending? It should blend easy. So that's good enough for now because I know I'm gonna go on with darker colors. I really wanna use this taupe shimmer that I haven't used before, so I'm gonna go in with that next. And I'm gonna do this all over my lid. Okay, you guys, so I said taupe shimmer. I was wrong. This color is like the perfect grungy green meets gold bronze. That's everything I wanted in this shadow. I love this color. I'm using it all over my lid, basically, all the way up to the crease. Even though it's a shimmer, even though I've got some crepiness going on, I'm using my finger because, and I have fat fingers for the size of my eyes too, so I'm gonna have a little bit of cleanup. But I like the fact that with a shimmer, you can kind of control it a little bit with your finger too. Like, it's easier to apply, it's easier to press into the lid. You get kind of a more seamless base. I don't feel like that got horribly muddy. I feel like it's actually just a good color. I kind of want to deepen it up a little bit here. I'm going to go back into that same color and I'm just going to pack it onto a flat shader brush and we're going to see if we can't deepen that up a little bit. I love it when I'm wrong about eyeshadows. Like I'm going to go in and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, this is how it's going to work, or this is how the color is going to be. This color right now, this kind of bronzy taupe shimmer, this is a great color. I would absolutely get this color as like a single as well. Okay. I'm going to try to blend some of that a little bit because I feel like I got a little overzealous. I wanted this palette because I felt like I didn't get the greens that I wanted in the Huda Beauty Khaki Haze palette, in all honesty. I know that it was less expensive than the Huda Beauty palette. And I gotta be honest, I was just kind of disappointed that I didn't get more greens in the Khaki Haze. I'm going into this darkest color here. I want to smoke things out a little bit, but it looks like it might have maybe like a purple undertone to it. We're gonna start right at the lash line and work up. Because these matte powders do tend to have quite a bit of kick up, I'm expecting fallout. I would recommend, yes, I'm already getting some. I would recommend doing your eyeshadow first. And once I get it packed into kind of down by my eyelash, I'm just dragging it up a little bit without putting any more on the brush. Wow, there's a lot of pigment going on in this. And I think when I do a little tap, 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 I don't really get any patchiness. Now, I do have a lot that I have to blend out, but I'll do that in a minute. There is a lot of fallout in this, but I'm gonna try to blend these out a little bit because I want the shape, but I don't want to be like overwhelmed by the darkness. Nobody wants to be overwhelmed by the darkness, right? There is a ton of pigment in that. Like, I don't think I went in super heavy and I was using a small brush and I got so much shadow, like so much color, super saturated. Okay, you guys, this feels dark, smoky, maybe a little heavy, very sultry, right? I'm taking the lightest shade in here and we're just gonna try to blend out just that top edge a little bit. But this is extravagant. Like, this eyeshadow almost feels bewitching. It's got a lot going on. So my recommendation on that darkest shade is, holy smokes, go less than you think because you're gonna get a lot of pigment. Even though I have that shimmer on, I'm gonna go into this coppery shimmer right here in the middle. Just on the center of that, I wanna give it a little bit of light, a little lift. It's just so dark. Let's put on some eyeliner and some mascara and I'll be right back. But this is definitely heavier than what I would normally do, even maybe for a date night, but I think there's almost something sexy about it, right? Like using that darkest shade to kind of smoke out that eye. I gotta tell you, a little goes a long way. There's my swatches, if my camera will actually give you guys kind of a good impression of it. I hope it does. I don't know that you can kind of see all the gradients in this shimmer. They start right here. And you can kind of see some of those shades a little bit. There's a lot to work with in this palette. I love the versatility of it. I love the combination. I love the color story. I've used several different Morphe palettes. I have a lot of Morphe palettes. I don't have a problem with Morphe products. I might have to play with this one a little bit more and just see if more hydration, maybe a different primer, will get me something that feels a little bit more like an everyday go-to. I think the opportunity is here. Not like well enough alone. I'm gonna take this darker green right here and let's see if that doesn't get me kind of muddy or if it actually shows up to end up getting kind of a flat black with a hint of green. I don't know. It's perfectly fine. I think it satisfied my need to add in a couple more greens. All right, you guys, I hope you are all doing very well. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button before you go. I'm gonna try to do a giveaway at 250 subscribers. I know it seems like not very many, but I'm trying. I'm a small YouTuber and I'm catered to women of a certain age, ladies of a certain age, who just wanna know, is a palette a good value? Is it a good investment? Is it gonna get you what you want? Or do you have to be a makeup artist to be able to use it? I hope you guys are doing really well, and until my next video, bye for now.